Hello guys, for next few practical sessions I have created some sample views here on my dashboard. So you can see all is by default available. Okay, so I have created this automation view, then DevOps, regression and sanity. Okay, so I have divided my multiple Jenkins jobs into the multiple folders. Okay, I have categorized them into the folders such that it will be easy for me to manage and find these jobs. Okay, so under automation I have created two folders. One is for dev team, one is for QA team. So dev team will have the Jenkins jobs which will be used by the developers, and QA team folder will have the jobs that will be used by the QA team. Okay, so next is DevOps item. So DevOps jobs which will be used by the DevOps team will be available in this DevOps item folder. Okay, and next view is for regression. Okay, so regression testing can be done module wise. So in your project in real time we can have multiple modules, right? So you can perform regression depending upon the changes in separate modules, or you can perform the full regression as well. Okay, so for performing those regression we can have multiple Jenkins jobs in these folders. Okay, and for sanity, here I have created few folders. So depending upon the server we can perform the sanity. So if you want to perform sanity on integration server, then you can use these jobs. If you want to run the sanity on the production or UAT server, then you can use these specific jobs available in this specific folders. So coming back to our session, so this is session number 4, and in this session we are going to see how we can use Matrix Authorization Strategy. So in this session what we are going to see is how we can limit or control the access of different Jenkins options for particular users. Okay, so that means we are going to control what user can perform or access in the Jenkins. Okay, what things he can access, what thing he can modify while using the Jenkins. Okay, so there are different options available in the Jenkins that user can access, right? So we have already seen most of the important option and their usage in the Jenkins in the last session in detail. So we know Jenkins will be used by all the employees for a particular project. Okay, including DevOps team members, testers, developers, admins, managers, right? So we cannot let everyone or every user to access everything on that Jenkins server. Okay, for example, manage Jenkins option. So we know this manage Jenkins option is most important option by using which we can do most of the administrative work. Okay, so whatever setting you will perform or whatever changes you will do under this manage Jenkins will be applied to all the Jenkins jobs, right? And will be applied for the all the users who is using your Jenkins server. So we cannot let everyone to use the manage Jenkins. Okay, because if you do so, then everyone can change anything related to the let's say global tool configuration or plugins, or removing any user, adding or deleting any Jenkins jobs. Also another example, we can say, like let's say we have separate job for teams in our project. Okay, so let's say I have separate job for my development team, and I have separate jobs for my QA team. So whatever QA team members who is using your Jenkins server should be able to access their jobs only. Okay, whatever jobs we have assigned to them, they should only be able to configure these jobs, change any settings or run these jobs. Okay, build these jobs, delete the project, like that. So that QA member should only be access their jobs under this QA team folder. Okay, they should not be allowed to perform any changes in the development team jobs. Okay, they should not be able to access this configuration option. Let's say for this day one jobs, any QA should not be able to access this configure option or this delete project option also. Okay, they can have only read access for other projects other than the QA jobs. So same applies for the development team also, right? They should only be able to access their jobs under this dev team. Okay, they should not be allowed to do any changes in on any other jobs. That can be QA team jobs or DevOps items or sanity jobs, like that. So a particular user should only be able to perform the things which they are allowed to do. Okay, so there should be a way by which we can limit and control this kind of actions in the Jenkins. So in the Jenkins there should be a way by which I can control the access or permission to access this manage Jenkins option. Okay, so only specific user can only be able to access this manage Jenkins, or for any specific job these members or any user should only be able to build the job. They should not be able to delete that job or delete the workspace or move this job into another folder. So all these kind of access levels or authorization related things can easily be done by using the Matrix Authorization Strategy. Okay, So I hope you have understood why we require this matrix authorization strategy in the Jenkins. Okay, so if you have understood why, then let's see how we can do that. So for demonstration purpose, let us create two users. Okay, currently we have only one user, so I will add two more users here in the Jenkins. So I will go to the manage users, create user. So to implement this matrix authorization strategy, we'll require this plugin, Matrix Authorization Strategy plugin. So let's see if this plugin is already available in my Jenkins. If not, we will install it. So I will go to the admin user AJ and go to the Manage Jenkins, Manage plugin. So in the installed tab, all the plugins which are already installed in my Jenkins will be available. So I will search with this plugin. Okay, so you can see this plugin is already available. Okay, already installed. Okay, so in your case, if it is not available, just search this plugin in the available tab and install it. So now let's see how to use this plugin. So go to the dashboard and I will go to the Manage Jenkins. So access permission or authorization related things you can control from this option, configure global security. Okay, so we are going to define what user can perform what things in the Jenkins. Okay, so AJ is admin, he is able to, or he should be able to access everything in the Jenkins, and this user 2 and user 1 should only be access some limited things. Okay, so that kind of setting I am going to do using the matrix authorization strategy. So if you scroll down, you can see here authorization. So currently this option is selected. Okay, logged in user can do anything. Okay, so any user who is logged in my Jenkins, he will be able to access everything. Okay, so that's how we are able to see that user 1 and user 2, all the options are available on the left menu. So what I can do is I will select this option, matrix based security. So you can see this table form. So here it is showing overall read and write access, okay, for administrator and other users. Then credential related things are here. Then this is the agent on which we can run our automation. Then for Jenkins jobs, so from this job we can give few access to the particular user to build the job, to configure the job, or delete, or discover, move, or read. Okay, like that. And run, we have view, we have SCM and lockable resources. So to apply this authorization strategy for all the three users, we need to add this user first. Okay, so I will click on this add user. So we know AJ is the administrator. Okay, so I am going to give full access to all the things in my Jenkins. So this AJ is administrator. Okay, so by default all these options will be available. Okay, so no need to select these options again. So AJ will be able to access everything in my Jenkins, all the options. So for user 1, I will give read access first. Okay, read access for both the users. So for credential related, let's say he should be able to create or update the credentials. So for agent, I don't want user 1 and user 2 should be able to set up any agent. So that kind of work should only be done by this administrator AJ. Okay, so I will not select this checkbox. So in the job section, let's say user 1 is allowed to build the jobs. Okay, he should be able to cancel the build, or let's say configure the jobs, create. I don't want that he should be able to delete that job. Okay, he should only be able to build and configure. Okay, so I'm not giving the delete permission to the user 1 and user 2. Or what we can do is for demonstration, I will give delete permission to user 2. Then I am giving both the users this workspace permission. So by doing this, both the users will be able to access all the files from the Jenkins jobs workspace, okay, from the browser itself. Then other thing is related to the views. So user 1 is only able to create the views or delete the views. User 2 should not be able to create and delete the views. So user 2 should only be able to build the Jenkins jobs. He should not be able, okay, he should be able to cancel it, but he should not be able to do any configuration. Okay, so I am not giving that permission to the user 2. And then let's say he should not be able to create any new jobs or delete the existing jobs. Okay, so all these settings are applied to the user 2. So once it is done, then just click on apply and save. So now let's see for user 1 and user 2, manage Jenkins option should not be available. Okay, so that only be available to this administrator AJ. So I will go to the user 1. Okay, so if I refresh this page, we should not be able to see this manage Jenkins. So you can see that manage Jenkins option is not available for this user 1. Okay, that means he should not be able to access the manage Jenkins. Both users can access this credential options, right? User is also able to access the credentials. Okay, so this user 1 should only be able to build the new jobs. Okay, cancel the build or configure that jobs or create a new job, but he should not be able to delete any jobs. Okay, so let's see for user 1. I will go to the automation. Let's say I will go to the QA team. So let's see if this user 1 is able to delete this QA1 or not. So you can see on the left hand side I don't have the delete project option here. Okay, so that delete project option should be available for user 2. So for this user 2 I will go to the automation again, go to the QA team, QA1. So you can see that delete project option is available for this user 2 because we have selected this checkbox, delete project checkbox for this user 2. Okay, so this is working fine. Then user 2 should not be able to configure or create any new job. Okay, so let's see that. So as you can see on the left menu, I don't have the new item option available for this user 2. Okay, that means this user 2 is not allowed to create any new jobs or create any folder or create any pipeline. Okay, because new item option is not available. It is disabled for this user. And for user 1, he is able to create the new jobs or folders. Okay, using this new item. Then user 2 should not be able to change any configuration for any jobs. Okay, for any Jenkins jobs. So that also we can verify. I will go to any jobs here, and the configure option should not be available here. Okay, so that is also working fine. And for user 1, that option should be available. Okay, so I am allowed to change any configuration for any jobs in this jobs option or any other Jenkins jobs. Okay, so user 1 is allowed to do the configuration changes in the any Jenkins jobs by using this configure option for that Jenkins job. Okay, so this is how you can provide the access levels to particular options in the Jenkins, and you can verify the same for different users. Okay, so next thing we are going to see is how we can perform the project based matrix authorization strategy. Okay, so this is a sub part of this matrix authorization strategy, project based. That means I am going to control the access levels for a particular Jenkins job for a particular user. So previously whatever access and permission that we have provided by using this matrix as based security are applied to all the Jenkins jobs. Okay, all the Jenkins options for this user 1 and user 2. So by using this project based matrix authorization strategy, I can limit a particular user access for a particular Jenkins jobs. So whatever authorization strategy I will provide for a particular user will be applicable to for that particular Jenkins jobs only. Okay, for that particular Jenkins items. So whatever settings for the Jenkins jobs we have provided for this user 2 and user 1 are applicable to all the Jenkins projects. Okay, so if I want this user 1 and user 2 should only be able to access the jobs for particular jobs, and they should be able to change or configure the settings for that particular jobs only. So that kind of setting I can do by using this project based matrix authorization strategy. So if I want to implement this project based matrix authorization strategy, again I will require the same plugin. Okay, so this mode is just a extension to this matrix authorization strategy. Okay, it is just a sub part of this matrix authorization strategy mode. So we will require the same plugin. So let's go and do some changes. Okay, so first let's add the users. Again I will make AJ as a administrator. So currently we have not started this mode yet, right? So you're not selected any option and click on apply and save. Okay, so currently if you go to the configure option for any Jenkins jobs, you will not find that options available here. So currently whatever strategy we have, it is not project based. So once that mode is turned on, then you will see the same project based authorization strategy option available for under this configuration option for every Jenkins jobs. Okay, in the general tab. Okay, so let's go and start that mode. So to understand these project based access levels, okay, what we can do is for this user 1 and user 2, they should not be able to build any Jenkins jobs. Okay, they should be able to read any Jenkins jobs. Let's say they should be able to discover any jobs. Okay, then they should not be able to access any workspace for any Jenkins jobs. Okay, so I am limiting the control or limiting the permissions for this user 1 and user 2 for all the Jenkins jobs, okay, globally. So this setting I am doing from the Manage Jenkins as an admin. So all these settings will be applicable for all the Jenkins jobs for this user 1 and user 2. Okay, so I have restricted both the users to perform any action for the Jenkins jobs. Okay, they should only be able to read these Jenkins jobs. Okay, access the Jenkins jobs. So they are not allowed to perform any configuration changes or delete any Jenkins job from the Jenkins server. Okay, so I will click on apply and save. So let's try to verify this for both the user. So as a user 1, I am allowed to access any Jenkins jobs. Okay, I can click on that, but I'm not able to see build now button or configure button or delete project button here on the left menu, right? So we have restricted this user 1 to access all those options in the Jenkins, okay, globally. So if we go to the any Jenkins job from any folder, you will see all those options are not available, okay, for this user 1. Same should be applicable for the user 2. Okay, so if you go to the production server sanity, he should not be able to build that job, okay, or perform any configuration changes or delete this project. So both the users, user 1 and user 2, are restricted to access or use all those options for every Jenkins jobs. Okay, whatever jobs you have available on your Jenkins server, they are not allowed to build that jobs or do any configuration changes or delete the project. And even manage Jenkins option is also not available here. So we have put this kind of restriction by using this configure global security and project based authorization strategy. Okay, so what is meant by project based authorization strategy? So to understand this project based authorization strategy, let's say both users are not allowed to do any changes for all the Jenkins jobs, but if I want this user 1 should be able to access and do the changes for a specific Jenkins jobs. So let's say user 1 is allowed to perform any changes for this specific QA1 jobs. Okay, so he should be able to build the job, he should be able to access the workspace files, he should be able to delete these projects. So whatever he want to do, he can do for this QA1 jobs only. Okay, and same is not applicable for all other Jenkins jobs rather than this QA1. Okay, so that kind of restriction, that kind of setting I can do by using the project based authorization strategy. So same for this user 2. So let's say user 2 should be able to access let's say QA2 job. Okay, he should be able to build that job or change any configuration or delete that project. Okay, so how to do this kind of setting for a specific Jenkins job? Okay, so I will go to the admin. So first I need to go to the particular Jenkins jobs, right? So I will go to the QA1 job now, and if we go to the configure option, now you can see this enable project based security option is now available. So if you remember, this option was not available when we were using the first option. Okay, this one, Matrix Authorization Strategy. Okay, so now we have implemented this project based Matrix Authorization Strategy from the Manage Jenkins. So this option will be available for all the Jenkins jobs. Okay, this option. So if you go to the any Jenkins job under configuration, you will find that option is available. So if I want to set the project based authorization strategy, then first I need to go to that particular Jenkins job. Okay, so let's say for QA1, I will go to the configure option. Okay, so I am logged in as a admin, right? So I will select this option, enable project based security. Then I will have to add the user first. So I will add user 1. Okay, so user 1 is not allowed to perform any changes in all the Jenkins job as per our global tool settings. Okay, but here by using this option enable project based security for this particular QA1 jobs, I can perform the or I can give some permission to this user 1. Okay, so which will be applicable to for this specific Jenkins job only. Okay, so let's say user 1 is allowed to build this job, he is able to cancel, he should be able to configure this job, he should be able to delete this job. Okay, so I am selecting all these options for this Jenkins jobs. Okay, so all these settings is applicable for this user one, and this will be applicable for only this QA1 job. Okay, so I will click on apply and save. Okay, and same I will go to the QA team again. For this QA2, I will set the permissions for the user 2. Okay, so user 2 should be able to build this QA2 job, cancel it, configure it, delete it, discover, move, read. Okay, so all these permissions I have given to this user 2. Okay, so which will be applicable for this QA2 job only. So apply and save. So let's try to verify this. So first let's go to the user 1. Okay, so now previously this user 1 was not able to access anything for this QA1 job. So now if I refresh the page, okay, now you can see the workspace option is available, build now button is also available, configure option, delete project is also available. So all these options are available because I have started the project based authorization strategy. Okay, so I have given permission for this user one to perform any changes to specific to this given job. Okay, so now he can change anything from this configure button. Okay, so this is applicable for a specific Jenkins job for a specific user. And same if I go to the user 2 and refresh the page, okay, all other options are available. Okay, and same will not be available for other Jenkins jobs. Okay, so as a user 2, if I go to the QA1 job, okay, so all those options are not available here. And as a user 1, if I go to the any other Jenkins job, okay, all those options are not available here. Okay, so if you go to the any other Jenkins job for this user 1, all those options are not accessible. So this is how you can use the project based authorization strategy when you have the multiple users and when you want to control or permission applicable for a specific job only. Okay, so whatever settings you will do from this global tool settings from the Manage Jenkins will be applicable for the all Jenkins jobs. Okay, so please remember that whatever setting you will do from here for any user, that will be applicable for all the Jenkins jobs. Okay, but if you want to perform this project based authorization strategy, then again you need to go to that particular job and do the changes. Okay, add the users and give them the permission and verify it. Okay, so have this practice, create the multiple users, use both Matrix Authorization Strategy and then use the project based authorization strategy, and that will help you to understand this concept. So both these concepts are very important in real-time projects. Okay, so normally we do not allow every user to access everything in the Jenkins. Okay, so we have seen how we can restrict user to not to access the manage Jenkins or views or people option, or they should not be able to delete any other project. Okay, they should be able to access any particular project by using the project based authorization strategy. So this is all about for this session, guys. So I hope you will understand this concept, and let me know if you don't understand anything from this. So in the next session, we will see another authorization strategy that is called as a role based authorization strategy. So that also be a very important session. So we have seen this authorization strategy will be applicable for all the Jenkins jobs. Okay, global setting. Then this will be applicable for a separate or a specific Jenkins jobs. Okay, as per the user. And this authorization strategy, depending upon the user's role, we can set the permission levels for particular Jenkins job or a particular agent also. Okay, so that we are going to see in the next session. So thanks for watching, guys. See you soon in the next video.